Alright. First off, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Makakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing this word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps, the hopeful elect. Shalom. This is brother Iron from James Jamaica camp. Coming to another quick lesson. Alright. And I'll read the first precept. This is 2 Corinthians 5 verse 7. It says, "For we walk by faith, not by sight." You know, and I think it was yesterday I was talking to the brother Yeshaya, about just a few things that I've been experiencing of late, seeing a few opportunities and decisions, to make, and I was just, breaking bread. And we were just there talking, but I was just sharing some things. And one of the things I was saying is that, look, I'm in a somewhat of a stable and a sure path right now. And one of the reasons why I'm hesitant is, I'm saying that if I should go, left, towards whatever opportunity I was discussing with him, the thing about it is that that security that I have of a certain level of constancy or consistency will be removed. But at the same time, I was saying to him that, look, but if I'm actually in the position where I'm doing the work of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, and I have faith that, look, if I make this decision, the Lord's gonna hold me down no matter what, and I'm gonna make it through. Then and that's my faith. If I do that without doubting, then I'll be fine. Not from the aspect of trying to tempt the Lord, but like truly having that faith that, look, once you're doing the Lord's work, and you're doing it within the right mindset, you'll be fine. And the brother actually said to me that for him, and he said that his words like, I know you can relate to this, where we see where if we had actually taken some of those opportunities with faith, since we came in the truth till now, or even before coming in the truth, and didn't have that fear holding us back, we would have been way better off right now. And I agreed. Now, don't get me wrong, it's not like, we were discussing just just making decisions off the fly, and just being reckless, or trying to just do things to tempt the Lord. But from a genuine standpoint of seeing where, there were things that we could have done, or things that would have made things better, not from the standpoint of affecting the truth, of course, but if we had taken those risks in faith, we would have been better off, and it's actually true. And then it had me thinking, watching a lesson today with the elder brother Yesha Wamba, where he did a response to Apostle Gabar's video about those who are talking that because they're dark skinned, they're an Israelite, and it was like, those that are carnal, or if you're at a carnal mindset, most of what you make decisions are based off what you can see. And really, things that actually bring forth value are usually things that you can't see, i.e. the kingdom. And a majority of things that we're dealing with, especially being in the truth, most of what we're dealing with aren't things that we can see. Most of the things aren't things that we can prove. I.e. The topic that I just mentioned, being an Israelite, we don't have any historical records to actually track our genealogy legitimately. Like for me, I don't know that I'm Iram, son of this, son of that, that can go all the way back to Benjamin, the patriarch Benjamin. I don't have that those records, and there's no way for me to prove that. But through faith, I believe that, you know And even though I'm saying this in a carnal sense, once again, I'm not telling brothers to go off carnal things, but even in a carnal sense, in your day-to-day life, whilst you're amongst the unbelievers, whilst you're among your in your domain, there are some things that, in order to achieve certain things, there's a certain level of risk involved, where if you're doing it with the right spirit, Yahweh Bashem Yahushua would actually, hold you down, you know, and in the time to come, especially in the time to come, there won't be any sure path, as it is written, the just shall live by faith. That the times that are short approaching, there won't be any level of constancy, there won't be any level of knowing what it is. It's all gonna seem impossible, and the only thing that's gonna keep us standing is gonna be our faith. you know and that's real. That's definitely real. And once again, I'm sorry that I have to keep on saying this, but I just want to ensure that I'm sending across the right message. Not saying brothers should be reckless, but we need to exercise our faith. Just don't tempt Yahweh Bashem Yahushua. Ask counsels, make discussions, ask counsels, as counsel go before every enterprise. Ask counsel, and pray before you make a decision. Pray to the Lord to ensure that you're doing it off the right spirit, and pray the Lord to actually guide you where you're not making a decision in error that's gonna be detrimental to you or your household. you know and that's the best way to go about it. All right, now I have a next precept, which is in the book of Hebrews. I'm going to read what is faith first, and I'm just going to get the account. So this is Hebrews 11 verse 1. It says, for now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it the elders obtain a good report. Through faith we understand that the word. Oh, Salaki, right. Verse 2 says, for by it the elders obtain a good report. And we're going to actually focus on the part of Abraham. But as it says, what faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. Even coming in this truth, we see where how people would distance themselves from us, friends, family members. We caught a lot of heat, and we didn't know how it was going to turn out. I've known brothers who got thrown out of their houses, based on the fact that they found the truth, and because they believed and had faith that this is actually the truth, the Lord actually provided for them and had them covered, and now that brother has his own place. The brother wasn't lacking in any way, shape or form. Yeah, yes, it was rough. It did come with its its trials. Of course, it doesn't mean that it's gonna be smooth sailing, but at the end, the Lord brought him through that experience and built him up. And I can tell of countless things that even I myself situation where I have been in, where it was just the faith of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai that pulled me through, and many other brothers, where there was no way out, but we just look at it and say, what, I don't know what's going on, but I just leave it in the hands of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. Some situations you look at it and you can say that, yeah, I remember even I think it was a few years ago, maybe 2 years ago or so, I was in a situation where I was comfortable, I had certain benefits of certain things, and there was a decision to be made. I was like, but even at the end of the day, I was like, even though I have these benefits, this situation, this the way how things are happening right now, it's not good. It's not good for me. So it's best that I make this choice. And it was scary. I spoke to brothers and everything, and guess what? it ended up worked out for the best. It did, you know. It did work out for the best. It was, if I'm being honest with myself, it was one of the best decisions I actually made in my life. You know, well, one of the best decisions that I've made, whilst being in this truth. All right. So it says it says no, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. All right. For by it the elders obtain a good report. Right. Now it says where is it? All right, verse 6 says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to the Most High must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder to them that diligently seek him. All right, so we have to believe, right? Without faith, it's impossible to to please Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And we have to believe that, he's our power that would actually support us, once we come to him within the right spirit. All right, it says, by faith, Noah, being warned of the things not yet seen, moved with fear, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. Exactly. Let's look at that real quickly. No rain. Given these instructions and these measurements to build a hell of a structure, to prepare for something that has never that's never been seen. And the reason for it being prepared, imagine, there are scriptures that says that, he was, Noah was, in the Wisdom of Solomon, it says that he was delivered by wood, so to the amount of destruction that came, he was preserved with wood, right? So think about that, and even if it's a sense that's a bit harder to imagine or relate to, I actually at one point looked up those dimensions with Google to see what those measurements would translate to today, and believe me, it was a hell of that ark was a hell of a structure. It took some time to build. I think the scripture says that he prophesied for about 150 years. Salaki, if I quoted that wrong, but he prophesied for a long time while actually building the ark, and you can imagine the amount of ridicule that he got for it. And even funny enough, how we are here preaching a kingdom to come, right? And we believe that there's a kingdom to come, but when it comes on to exercising faith in our or in our daily lives, in our daily walk, there are times when we get timid, but yet we're looking for a kingdom that we cannot see. It's a bit crazy at times, but definitely something for the Akim to think about. I hope this is actually resonating with your spirit, that ultimately we need to pray for faith. This is and also we need to exercise our faith. Now this is the key part that I was getting to. It says, by faith Abraham, when he was called to go into a place which he should after receive for an inheritance, obeyed, and he went out, not knowing whither he went. Think about that. You can imagine his father household being rich. He had everything to his disposal, right? Going out to a country he did not know, he didn't know anybody, and he would have to, being the fact that he was traveling, he would be exposed to the elements, he'd be exposed to to thieves, he would be exposed to amount of dangers and perils, and he would have to manage his his substance wisely, and many other things. At one point he even had to go and rescue Lot. But look at that. Regardless, he didn't know where he was going. He didn't have a foundation. There was no that constancy and that surety and security of being in the familiar surrounding was all wiped away, and he went. Right? It says, by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacles with Isaac and Jacob, the heirs with him of the same promise. You know, moving from a house or a secure structure to living in tents. Think about that. All for the promise, all for the betterment that was promised to him, and that showed his faith, right? It says, for he looked for a city which had foundations, whose builder and maker is the Most High. And we're doing the same thing right now, looking towards, salvation, looking towards the kingdom of heaven. That's our faith, you know. But, we have to grow into this thing. And I say it many times. And, it's something that me and the brother Yeshaya like to discuss, the fact that, whenever you pray for something, you're going to be placed in a situation where, you get an experience where it's you until you learn it, so if you pray for faith, the Lord's going to put you in a situation where you're going to have to exercise faith. If you pray for strength, the Lord's going to actually put you in a situation where you gain that strength. You pray for wisdom, same thing. Regardless of what you pray for, you're going to be placed in a situation where you're going to have to ask for those things or obtain those things. So just bear that in mind. We need to pray for faith, because in the time to come, there won't be any constancy and there won't be any surety. Only Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. All right, so hope this was edifying. Once more, give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, B'Hashem Kodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Shalom to the brothers in the highways and byways pushing his word in all sincerity and truth. The sisters, the believers, the helps. Shalom.